Good evening, I'm Dike Rostant. Welcome back to the TTT News. Hot on the heels of the THA election, we take a deep dive into representational politics. We are doing that with a man born in Pitt Road, Morvant, an alumnus of UWI St. Augustine and the University of Manchester, where he graduated with honors and distinction respectively. Now, some people might say after all that good education, the man dive into politics. It is time to go in-depth on that decision and more with Member of Parliament for Laventille East, Morvant, Adrian Leonce. Welcome, Mr. Leonce. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you very much.
Thank you for making the time. And I want to start off asking the question, though, what are some of the pressures, if any, that you feel representing your hometown?
Well, there's great expectation, obviously. You know, a lot of persons will come and they'll say, well, I know this youth from small, you know, and there's a great expectation to be able to deliver all the needs. So that basically is where the pressure lies, and you wanting to deliver all the needs and not having all the resources to do so.
But speaking about resources, what are some of those factors that went into you saying, okay, well, I'm actually going to enter politics?
Well, for me, I have always, you know, enjoyed community and the strength of community and how resilient we are in our community. And I've always had an interest in terms of supporting persons that grew up with me or within the communities. And I was approached and they said, you know, if you get into this politics, you'll be able to do so much more. It will multiply and magnify, and that is what interested me. You know, to bring this service, to bring this access, the support to develop and help others at a bigger scale, a bigger level.
And in terms of that multiplying and magnifying, what are some of those things about your constituency that you really appreciate? And what are some of those things that you want to work out towards improving?
Well, the things in the community that I appreciate and love is the family-like way that we have with each other. I haven't seen many other communities. I haven't grown up in many other communities, but I know, you know, we look out for each other. You know, we stand by each other. I remember growing up, we playing sports together. It is a family. It's a brotherhood, a sisterhood. Everybody looks out for each other. So that I love and I cherish. The thing that we need to work on and change is the stigmas and the negative aspects of the community that is obviously highlighted in the media. These things that create a negative stigma is what we really have to work out and work against, push away, and change our image of that the rest of the society has on us.
And one of the ways that you're doing that is relying heavily with your mechanical engineering and management background, but relying heavily on pillars of transformation to get those done. What are those pillars?
Yeah, so in our national policy, we have three main pillars of transformation. One being growing the economy, the other being food security and making food security a reality. And the third one, most important, is leaving no one behind. You know, so that is really involving everyone in the community in moving forward.
And one of the things in that kind of Ubuntu vibrations and leaving no one behind, sometimes it seems as though it's a chicken or the egg. Which one are you going to do first? Because you want to get better, you may want to build capacity, but you have your hustle. Who feels it knows it. If you don't do this to earn your daily bread, you're not going to eat or your children are going to eat. But you were speaking about partnerships and ways that you're addressing that. What are some of the ways that you get that done so people can both earn and learn?
Yeah, so we have two main programs that we promoting. One is agricultural program, which would rely on one of the pillars, and the other one is skills development. So with the agricultural program, we are trying to get a lot of these spaces. So what we want to consider urban agriculture, all these spaces where the community centers, maybe some green spaces in the community, or even spaces where the HGC developments would have to maintain in terms of grass cutting. We can use those spaces to actually plant food and produce agriculture. There are different aspects of agriculture that we want to encourage. You would have seen where in one of the communities we partnered with a foundation called the Core Foundation. They have took a serious lead in one of our communities, Second Caledonia, and they came, they taught the youngsters about hydroponics and different types of agriculture, and we actually produce the food. Now, this agriculture and urban agriculture can not just create a business, but also have some self-sustainability in it also. So while the time you take away, as you said, from earning, we try to encourage persons who, let's say your daily hustle, if you want to call it that, is to go out and sell certain things. We partner with the URP, where you'll register and the URP will pay you a stipend, what we will consider a stipend. So while you come to learn and develop your different types of skills, you're still able to have some benefit where you could use it for traveling and to buy food and stuff.
And I guess that also has people feel a little more comfortable where they are, knowing that, okay, well, it's not as though I need to rush out to this class and then go looking for it to make sure that my household is taken care of. So they can devote a little more time, energy, passion into what it is they're learning to help carry them forward.
Yes, it makes the sacrifice a little more feasible, because at the end of the day, a lot of people, they have their children, some of them single parents, and at the end of the day, you need to put the bread on the table. So in developing persons with their skills and the different things that where we can help them build their dreams and become entrepreneurs and stuff, we want in that process that they can still put that bread on the table for the youngsters.
And speaking about putting bread on the table, there was an ECCL, the Export Center, Community Limited. There was a handover and an award ceremony that you would have been part of because it took place in your constituency.
Yes.
And you were giving out prizes to some people who would have done well in the course. But one of the things that I remember you also spoke about, as opposed to just having people with skills so that they could be employable, you were also looking at trying to develop that entrepreneurial mindset so people actually create jobs. So possibly even putting bread on other individuals within the same community's table. And how important is that to you?
Well, this is critical because in again developing that pillar of economic growth, we want to have different structures and organizations that can support each other while we building skills. So we are currently developing a cooperative where all persons that pass through our skills program, whether it be the sewing, the woodworking, masonry, electrical, plumbing, they have the ability to join this cooperative. Now this cooperative is an entity that can now seek work, have work. Currently, right now, the persons who did the sewing, they are currently sewing uniforms for one of our government agencies. So it brings employment. So besides being developing yourself in terms of something you're attracted to and you like, you also have an opportunity to provide a service for the country and community, and also be part of a growing entity within the community where persons can now lean on and learn from in terms of business, sustenance, and employment.
And it makes so much more of an impact when you have the same amount of money, but it moves and weaves throughout the community, as opposed to it starts and it just exits the community.
Yes.
But we continue the conversation with the Member of Parliament for Laventille East, Morvant, Adrian Leonce. When we return, this is In Depth. Stay with us.
My name is Ansel Cowan from Laventille East Mover, one of the main activists which support, give Mr. Leonce the more support that he can get to encourage the youth, especially into agriculture, because this is our guest here, where we bring us into agriculture, and this is what we are doing here to ensure that we could take the country to another level. At the end of the day, we're trying to empower the youth to see, well, look what we are doing and what we're encouraging people and what we want people to do instead of being on the streets and lamenting where they could make themselves employable. A lot of youths today figure, well, look, if they start business today, they could be a millionaire tomorrow, but they don't work so. It's a sacrifice they just have to make to ensure it. But you weren't able to reap, as I said before, you weren't able to reach your profit right away, but everything as a long-term investment, there you will see your gains in time to come. Well, what I will say, since Mr. Leonce became the MP at Laventille East Mover, he always had a dream for the youth of Laventille East Mover. And what I will like the youth and them for Laventille East Mover to do is to grab the opportunity to ensure that to make Mr. Leonce, because just as how this is part of my dreams, is Mr. Leonce's dreams to make the youth of Laventille East Mover being prosperous.
And welcome back. We are going in depth of the work of representing Laventille East Mover with a Member of Parliament, Adrian Leonce. And what are some of the things that come to mind when you see this snapshot of some of the work that is being done in the constituency, Mr. Leonce?
I feel good because a lot of things that people get into is what they know. And sometimes because of what a lot of people don't know, they don't get into it. So for agriculture is something, you hardly hear happening within our urban spaces. And when I start speaking to them about the benefits of being a farmer and the kind of assistance the government gives you as a farmer, a registered farmer, I try to get them involved in these different industries. They say we don't have to all be in the same type of business. There's so many other ways to earn money, and we want to encourage whichever way you want to decide. We want to encourage you and develop you in a particular way. So all our skills programs you'll be trained up to international certification. So you will have a paper basically stating you are skilled, and not just locally, but an international certification. Just encourage persons to live their dreams.
And speaking to that level of excellence, I want to ask about the Excellence Incubator. What is that about?
Right, so the Excellence Incubator is a program or a project that I'm still in discussions with some private stakeholders. The concept of it basically is creating a dormitory type facility where persons or students that where if they're in the environment then is not conducive to learning, they can be in this facility and have all the resources to them so that they can be and live their fullest potential as a student and really excel and produce the results that we know a lot of our children can produce, but sometimes because of situations or because of the environment, or they are held back and they're not able to show their full potential. So it's really the development of a facility. We already have designs and stuff already, right? Development of a facility really to create a space to let the children within the community explore their fullest potential.
Now you say within the community, and that answered the question because I was wondering what kind of catchment area that you had in mind for such a facility.
Yes. Now the Prime Minister would have highlighted some of the challenges in the schools within the St. George area, I believe. And he had initiated a program called the School Improvement Program, which took on board 25 schools, 5 secondary, I believe, and 20 primary schools. So in light of knowing the challenges that we have in the schools within the Port of Spain area and my area by extension, we want to ensure that that transformation is done and is real. And we identify that some of the challenges that students face, besides the school infrastructure, is also the home environment. So that the Excellent Incubator is one, and there's also another initiative where we are planning to develop a space, an educational facility where will be, let's say, state-of-the-art technology and is a smart building, fully equipped with computer labs, smart boards, projectors. Is really an experience that the students of the community would have. I would even go as far as saying it's a facility that we don't have it anywhere else in this country. So to bring that experience to children within the community, again, that will be to explore their fullest potential in their desires of whatever they want to become.
Sounding good, Mr. MP. Well, we have about 3 minutes more, and I want to address 3 issues. One, you actually putting your money where your mouth is, and having Leonce Innovations Company Limited. The fact that you are also getting information and using that data to drive certain actions in terms of the soup kitchen, and how do people contact the office if they want to help or if they want to get information from you?
Right, so I'll start with the last one first. So the office, since the COVID, we have changed a lot of the dynamics of the office to protect the staff, because I had 2 members of staff who contracted the virus, but they recovered, thank God. So the office is really a bridge to the services of the government for the constituency, and I have an amazing staff component. I mean, they're really amazing. They have developed a website. We have a Laventille East website, so you can go laventilleeastmover.com and you'll see our website. On that website, they have all the services, all the requests, even if it's a letter, everything is there. Typical requests where persons will come forward, repairs of homes, TNTech issues. We have the whole list of it. We also, at our offices, we have all the forms that you will typically get in the government offices. So you don't have to go all there. You come to the office and the staff explains how to do it, what to fill out, what you have to get. We compile the information for them and we submit it for them. So we bridge that gap for them. What that allows us is coming to a second point of data. So it's important for us to identify the problems we have and the issues that we have and get the data. So we know all the persons, we know the people who come, if they're employed, how many persons in their house, what are the issues, and we can measure the successes we have. So who we were able to assist to come out of their situation, and who we have to continue working with and support. You know, which brings me now to the soup kitchen. The soup kitchen is a program where we identify the most vulnerable people, and we take that same data of household, whether it be persons may be disabled and don't have anybody to assist them. You know, persons may be old and need somebody to care for them. We recognize the data and the issues that they have, and we use the soup kitchen as a program really to get a personal relationship with them and to move them out of where they are into a better space, or to make sure they get the assistance required from the state or from other agencies. So data is important for us, so we can measure our success, and we can also translate it into getting help and translate it into promoting different things that work.
And we want to thank you so much, Member of Parliament for Laventille East, Morvant, Adrian Leonce, for literally walking that talk and making sure that people in the community seeing the person grow from a boy to a man, giving back to the community and doing what he said that he would. And on behalf of the entire TTT News team, we want to thank you for tuning in to In Depth with me, Dike Rostant. Thank you for joining us.